temperature.
Just here for a call.
Hello? Can you guys hear me okay? Yay! It's always weird being outside of my little space.
Just here for the coin.
Yeah, you are.
Insert Angry Birds noises here.
Okay, so I'm just walking across two separate areas. So I've got chat over here. I have my Legion 7i with the laptop running the stream over here. So I'm good to go. And then I have downward stream. Oh, this is I was meant to be on this one. Here. There we go. This is to start so that you can see the menu. There. There we go. Sorry, I'm just so distracted by cat on chair. That's Merlin. So Merlin, he has a bit of arthritis and he's been struggling a bit getting up onto the table. So I might just pull the chair out for him a bit because he actually can't get up onto the table at the moment, which is why he's on the chair. Buddy, do you want to get up? You want to get up? Yeah, you can. You can get up there and you can go on your little blanket. Is that better? Is that better? Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. And I'll pull this one out for you so you can get down. Poor little guy. He's only 10, but he's just, I don't know, I would say in the last couple of years, he has just started to get really stiff in his back legs, and then he started kind of limping a little bit when he would sleep for a long time and then get up suddenly. His legs took a while to kind of work, and then I started noticing that he couldn't get up and down off things that cats would normally be able to get up and down off. So I don't know, I've just been trying to help him where I can, but I think I want to go to the vet with him. And my friend was saying that they have a dog that has arthritis and they give him an injection every 6 months that really helps with it. So I'm going to see if maybe they can do that for Merlin because he's struggling a little bit. Poor old guy. He still feels like a goth moth. Stuart, please don't. Oh, Merlin, chat loves you. Merlin, chat loves you. How's that head turn? What? He's still really sprightly and good mood. And there's this recipe does have cheese in it, because if you have a look in the little picture, you can see the little the idea is that it's meant to be little angry birds in a nest, and the noodles are the nest, and the meatballs are the bird, and the little faces of the birds are made out of cheese. And when I get the cheese out, he's going to want to come over here because he loves cheese. He can be at the other side of the house and I'll get cheese out of the fridge and he's runs in. He's I smell cheese. Where's the cheese? He's cool. Cool, cooking stream. I haven't done one of these in ages and I'm so excited to be doing it today because I have my new kitchen. Yay! If you've seen my cooking streams before a long time ago, you'll remember that this was a wooden bench top, and then the cabinets were kind of a beigey, pinky beige color. It was really ugly. And then it had this weird patterned tile, and it wasn't the worst kitchen in the world, but it was actually functionally made poorly and was starting to leak a lot. The benches weren't added. It was a DIY thing. I think somebody who owned this house before, the benches weren't sealed properly, so water was starting to seep in through the cracks and stuff, and it was just really bad. So we've been saving ever since we moved in here to get the kitchen redone, and we just found a local mountains company to do it, and we just made it white, which is really boring, but it was really dark before, so I feel now it's, and we didn't have a dishwasher before, and now we have a dishwasher, and so my life is so much better because I have a dishwasher. You'll understand. It looks good. Oh, yay! I'm glad. Yeah, it's just I guess it's functional, really. And Peter and I actually cook a lot because we spend a lot of time apart. We love each other very much, but we're both introverts, and we play a lot of games, sometimes together, but mostly with other people. And so we spend most of the day in separate rooms and, sort of passing in the hallway. But in the evenings, cooking is like when we come together and spend time together. We cook a meal together and we eat together, and we might watch a TV show or something, and then we go our separate ways again. So it's like, it's nice to have a good kind of area where we can both together cook and feel good about what we're doing. I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad to see you, Crazy Monster Boss. I love doing cooking streams on a Sunday because I feel like it's a cool time to be able to, like, do stuff like that. Dishwashers for the win. Yeah, we lived for a long time without one. We didn't have one at our old place, and we didn't have one here either. I had a fancy apartment for a brief period of time where we had a dishwasher, and so it's very hard to go from having one to not having one. But having one now is like amazing. And we got solar power installed here, so when I run it during the day, I don't really feel bad about the power usage and stuff. So that's nice too. So, what are we cooking today? Lenovo Legion has sponsored this stream. You know, I'm a long-time ambassador for Lenovo Legion. And one of the main products that Legion likes to promote is the Legion 7i gaming laptop, which I use a lot particularly when I'm going to and from the studio. When I play games for work, sometimes I'll play them at home, and then I haven't played enough, so when we have to go early into the studio so Peter can start doing all the setup, I can take the laptop with me, continue gaming there. When I do like long train trips into the city, I can take it with me. And in the before times when I used to travel, it was great to be able to have in hotel rooms with me as well, to be able to like travel with a gaming laptop. So if you're interested in a gaming laptop, the 7i is like definitely one of the higher end models. Like it's super powerful for a laptop. So it does a lot, and it's like really sleek and stylish, and it's not too heavy. It fits in a backpack. I feel like I've had gaming laptops in the past, but they've just been really chunky and heavy, and it's just like annoying to carry with you. So and then it's obviously great for situations like this when I want to run a cooking stream and I don't want to like transfer my whole freaking PC setup to the kitchen. I can just run it all off my laptop, which is great. Can I ask how much it is? There is a link in if you just type this, Legion 7i, I believe. Liz is on it. Liz is on it. There's a link to it, so you can see it there. And I think you can also like maybe upgrade some of the specs and stuff like that if you go into the website, if you want it even like beefier or whatever. But okay, so let's go to what we are cooking today. You'll see the menu that I've created here with my amazing graphic design skills. I am making the Lenovo Legion Stylish Displays winner. They ran a competition to show off their people's kind of gaming related creativity, and there were cosplayers that won, and one of the winners was a woman called Debbie who created this Angry Birds inspired meatball dish. So it's like little meatballs which are the Angry Birds, and then there's like a little noodle nest. So I'm going to be making that to start with. Then I'm going to make some cookies. I just have a packet mix that I have had sitting in the pantry for ages, and every time I open the pantry I look at it and I'm like, gotta make those cookies, and then I just never do because I'm lazy and I just like never feel inspired to bake on any normal day. So I was like, today I can make the cookies, so I'll make those as well. And then we have something sweet. They're just like good old Greens chocolate chunk with dark chocolate chips, so it'll be like fancy. And then after I've done that, it'll be around dinner time. So I figured I would just make my meal box dinner that Peter might even guest star when we make our, quick question. Given the setup, no eyes up today, Liz. No, I don't have it. Different setup. I apologize. Also, I actually don't have, should get my alerts happening. Because then at least I can, I'll just do a quick run of like subs and stuff. What did you say, Liam? What did you say? I saw your name just disappear now. What did you say? What did you just say to me? Please mail me some cookies. Oh, yeah, totally. So yes, I'm just going to cook our meal box dinner, and tonight we are having rich braised beef.
Just here for the coin.
With
Don't
mash.
forget the fish. Also
And then
hide
like
the table cat.
a little pear and rocket salad. That looks good. Yeah, and so I have two setups that I can show you. There's this one where you can see where I can like chop things, and then I have this one which Peter set up for me amazingly. I wish I could. I need to like at the end of this when I can like move stuff around, I'll show you the setup because he's run like like 3 USB extension cords up across the top of the kitchen, across the top of the cabinets to be able to reach the stove, which is like over there, so that there was a camera to show the stove. I was like, don't worry about the stove, it's too hard. He was like, I can do it. So I was pretty impressed with that. Okay, so I have the recipe here. I'll do a quick thank you for like subs and stuff as well, because I know I haven't done that yet. What the Shark, thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. That's awesome. Andrew, thank you so much for gifting a community sub as well 5 minutes ago. Sorry, I'm late. Toxichalk, thank you so much for resubscribing as well. Lord Phoenix, thank you for resubscribing. Nicritex, thank you for resubscribing as well. That's amazing. Oh, it's a hype train. Pal Zero, thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. Thank you so much. I heard you've been. I saw on Twitter. I think that you had your second shot. So, grats, amazing. Ninja Pyro, thank you so much for subscribing as well. Oh man, thanks for the subs, guys. So cool, so cool. I'm sorry if I am late saying thank you for things. I just, you know what it's like. I'm just all over the place. So I need to switch back to this one. Yes, starting with a lot of penis-shaped vegetables, which is a great way to start a Steph stream. What a rig! How's the lockdown been treating you? Listen, it's not been so bad. I'm trying to be like positive about it, and like I really love living in the mountains, and we have space up here, and I feel like last year in lockdown we put a lot of we sort of invested in home setups more, sort of anticipating that this was going to be an issue for a while. So we had that fiber to the premises installed, and we had solar put in and stuff like that, and I spent some money like redoing my home office and stuff, so that I can just work from home a lot more now. So I don't feel like it's so bad from a work perspective. I just miss my friends and family, and I miss all the things that we miss, but in the interest of being grateful, I feel like I'm not doing so bad. I live with Peter. We have lovely animals. We love the mountains. It's not too bad. So I have these vegetables to make the little vegetable-y things. I have also some breadcrumbs that I'm going to use today. I imagine that's going in the meatball mix because it helps them like stick together as a ball. I have some like mince, and I have these tiny little cutout thingies, because she's used like a little, if you look at the cucumbers and the carrots and stuff, she's cut them into little shapes, and then she's pressed the smaller shapes into the hole of the bigger shape. It's very cool. So I'm excited about that. I think that's going to be sick. And then I have some mee goreng noodles, Indomie, which are the best noodles and stuff. So to get started with the recipe, to prepare, mince the garlic clove and destem and chop half the sprig of rosemary. Oh crap. I have rosemary outside in the garden, but I haven't got it yet. So I'll do the garlic first and then I'll run out and get some rosemary. Garlic clove. Is the music okay? Can you still hear it? Should I turn it up a bit or down? Just let me know. So Peter bought this like little smushy thing to like mince the garlic. I should tell you as well, I already cut myself today. Before the cooking stream even started. I literally we bought these new knives, and they're global knives, which are really sharp, and they're great. But because they're really sharp, I just had the knife like there, and then it was resting on something, I think, so it was like up a little bit, and then I just like pushed my hand into the tip of it, and I was like, oh, it's fine, and then it just started to gush blood, and I was like, maybe not. It was really deep. Oh, damn. Hi, MacGuffer. What's up? Jab, jab, update. All jabbed? You just got jabbed just then. Amazing. Oh, my gosh. Spice-Man, that's so cool. Yay. I'm booked in for my second one with Peter on the 29th of September, so I'm very excited to be, like, fully vaccinated. You don't need all your blood, yeah. So gotta be careful with the knife. My chopping skills are also like really like not great. But yeah, so that was an incident that happened before the stream started. And then the other thing that happened was that I because I haven't used OBS on this machine for a little while, I needed to reconnect my Twitch account. And when you do that, Twitch is really like funny about making sure that the security is all, you know, good. So it made me do that like robot test. And the robot test was like, and look, I was overthinking it, but it was like, instead of being the like, choose the picture that has like traffic lights in it or whatever, it had like a bunch of just tiles that had pictures in them with like different, I don't know, like a little emoji type pictures in it. And it said, choose the two icons that are the same. So I thought it wanted me to choose two tiles that had the same image in it, but it wanted me to choose the image that had two images that were the same within the one tile. And so I kept getting it wrong, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like swearing, and Peter came running in. He's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I can't solve the robot test. And he was like, what? And I was like, I can't solve the robot test. He was like, why? What do you mean? And then he looked at it and he was like, two pictures that are the same. And he was like, so it's this one. And I was like, yeah. And then what's the other one? And he goes, that's it. And I was like, but it wants me to choose two. And he goes, that picture had two pictures in it. And I was like, God damn. So I failed the robot test. And I guess the result is that I'm a robot. And I think that's something that we all knew deep down. I'm just like, I'm an older model, so I'm a bit slow. I just need to upgrade my RAM, you know, and then I'll be fine. Concerned robot face. Hexbot. I like that. I like that. Okay, so I got the skin off the thing. And then Peter bought this apparatus that oh, here it is. This thing that you used to like crush the garlic with, and like he always does it really well, and I can just never do it. Like once you crush it, how do you get it all out of the little holes? Oh, this might be like tryptophobic for some people. You know, you can't like push it through. I'm so scared of this knife now after I stabbed myself with it today. So I've got that part off, but then there's still heaps in the little holes. But then maybe I can like push it back through the other way. Oh, that worked pretty well. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Because chopping garlic by hand takes a long time. And those things that you like smush, those old school ones that you smush the garlic in, I find them very difficult to clean out also. Not bad. Not bad. 7 out of 10. I would just give it like a little once over also. Hi, Gandalf. Oh, really? He's here? Oh, there he is. Look at him. Sometimes they like fight from like the top and the bottom. Hi, buddy. Merlin has the higher ground, Anakin. Yeah, he's just not much of a fighter these days. Okay, next step. Put the mince into a large mixing bowl, add the egg, minced garlic, chopped rosemary. Oh, I've got to go get the rosemary. BRB. Cat cam. Wait, I need scissors. Sorry, Gandalf. I don't know if you can still hear me all the way out here, but it might cut out. But I'm just going to get the rosemary. We planted these 3 rosemary bushes when we moved in, and they have now gotten so big that they've like taken over the whole garden. I think it just said a sprig, but I'll do this. That's probably enough. How much does it say? Sprig. Did you not learn from the knife? Oh yeah, totally. You can topiary with rosemary. Can you really? Steph needs to go back to the safety course. Yeah, my knife skills are really bad. Peter watches me chopping anything when we're like cooking, and he's like, just let me do it. I'm like, it's fine, Peter. I'm fine. She was not fine. So we'll just chop this up. What age were you when you got into cooking? Because my sister really loved cooking from like a young age. My mum was a really great cook, and I just had like 0 interest in it. But I think like once I moved out and I started eating just like everything out of a packet and gained a bunch of weight, I was like, maybe I need to learn how to cook stuff. And then kind of slowly I started to like learn how to cook basic things. And then I think it really ramps up once you start wanting to cook for other people, because cooking for yourself is kind of boring. But like once you start wanting to like cook for friends or have a little like dinner session or like for your partner, that's when you start to like be like, actually, I'm going to try this like whatever Nigella Lawson recipe. And then you start to learn stuff. But it's always like every time I would want to have a dinner party, I'd be like, I want to do something fancy. And I would always choose these really hard recipes. And then people would come over and be like, hey, so great to see you. And I'd be like, can't talk now. I'm really stressed because I was trying to cook these really overly complicated like meals. So don't make that mistake. Just cook simple things. So much of what's stressful about cooking is timing multiple things at once. And I hate that. I hate that kind of stress. I don't want it. I don't need it in my life. Lord Phoenix, you started hospitality training in year 10. Wow. Mum had me cooking for the family as a chore from 12, learned all the stuff, and when I moved out, I made my favorites and ate all the things. That's so great, Sassless. Loki Cat likes making nice desserts, but I make sure to start well in advance. Yeah, okay. Goth Martha Stewart, I enjoy cooking way more after going vegan. Yeah, interesting. I like vegan food. I like all kinds of food. And I try to not eat too much meat, just for like health and planet reasons. So I enjoy vegan food. And when I have vegan friends, I get excited at the opportunity to like cook vegan stuff. I guess my only issue with a lot of vegan like desserts and things is a lot of it is really nut based and oil based, and I feel like then it starts to get really heavy. But I bet you've probably found workarounds for that. All right, next step. Oh, that's right. We were putting the chopped rosemary and the mince and the egg and the garlic in a bowl. Okay. Ah. The mince, the rosemary, and then it was like, how much mince was it? I actually don't know if I need to use all of it. Oh no, it says 500 grams. It says 500 grams. I love your hair. It looks great. Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. I haven't obviously been to the salon in a really long time, so I have like hair anxiety. And I actually just like, my natural hair is really like mousy brown. So when my roots come out, I don't love it too much. So I got the hairdresser to send me some like a really kind of diluted dye to just go over the dark part of my hair a little bit, just to make it a little bit more like, I don't know, a bit more brown as opposed to my sort of mousy natural color. And they sent me a whole little kit to do it with, and I sat in the kitchen and I got Peter to help me do it, and I took a photo and it was very funny. Let me find it. If that works. Yeah. There's hairdresser Peter. Funny. With his little gloves on. Dyeing my hair for me. It was so funny. I was just like, make sure you like get it all over the like the darker bits. And he was like, Stephanie, it's everywhere. I've got goop everywhere. And I was like, all right. Settle down. I think it said salt and pepper as well. Yeah, it just looks a bit more like, I don't know how to describe it, like deliberate. Anyway. And then I sort of toned the blonde a bit more as well. Which is a thing, a purple, it's kind of like a purple, a really diluted purple dye that you put over blonde hair to make it less yellow and more beige, if that makes sense. I was having this conversation with Nick when he was like on Pocket before we went into lockdown. He was like, I think I want to go blonde. Or maybe it was in lockdown. I've lost all track of time. But Nick was like, I want to dye my hair blonde. And I was like, that's cool. You should totally do it. You'd rock it. But just know that dyeing your hair blonde is not a simple task of like putting bleach on it and then it's blonde. When you bleach your hair, it'll go like corn yellow. A really corn yellow. And then you have to put this like purple stuff on it to make it an actual natural looking blonde, and then you have to keep doing that all the time because when you bleach your hair it becomes really porous, so it doesn't hold on to color, so you have to keep putting that purple stuff in it every couple of weeks, and it's a whole process. It's a whole thing. Purple shampoo is a must. Yep. Remove the brassy tones. That's what Bianca tells me. Yeah, that's right. They call it brassy. Yeah, they call it brassy. Jaffer, yes, I'm cooking mince, and then I have to put the egg in. And eggs are used in cooking as a binding agent. Oh my gosh, you know what I made yesterday too? I'll just show it to you because there's one left. I made scones. Isn't it? There's just one here, but... Pretty cool. I've never made scones before. It was very exciting. And it's a whole egg, isn't it? Binding agent is another name for dominatrix. That's funny, Dalton Bears. Yeah, whole egg. Whole egg. My dad is such a messy cooker. The meals are really nice, but after we were finished, it looks like one of the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I found the dishwasher has helped a lot with that because we just like, as we're cooking and we finish with something, it just immediately put it in the dishwasher and then, you know, it's gone. All right, so the egg is in there. Smush it. So that will help the breadcrumbs and the meat form a consistency that allows you to create a meatball that will stay in ball shape. You know? Otherwise it's like you put mince in a pan and it's just gonna like fall into a mince pile as opposed to staying in ball form. I don't make meatballs super often, but I've made them a couple of times and I remember that that's, you know, part of it. We make a really great, Peter and I, one of our favorite things to make is a bolognese, but we put heaps of vegetables in it. So we get mince and then we get like, because we've grown a bunch of stuff in our garden as well. We've grown like kale and silver beet and a lot of herbs and stuff, rosemary, thyme, parsley, and we grow zucchinis in the summer. So we get, we chop up zucchini and carrot and celery, and we chop up the kale really fine and parsley and and onion and garlic, and we add all of that to the mince. And fresh basil, we grow basil as well, and you add it all in there. And then a really nice tomato sauce, and then just add some fresh tomatoes to it as well. And then it becomes this, it's like a bolognese, but it's like, it feels really healthy because it's just got all these veggies in it, and it tastes so much better, I think, than just like mincemeat. That's my opinion anyway. Okay, so I've done that, and she wanted salt and pepper and breadcrumbs. Salt and pepper and breadcrumbs. And how many breadcrumbs was it? Debbie, tell me oh, it's a cup. It's a cup of breadcrumbs and salt and pepper. This thing's pretty good. We got this because sometimes when you have like one hand that's like got cooking messy crap on it and you still have one clean hand, you can just use this and it just does like, you can grind with one hand. You can grind with one hand. Hello, darling. How was your walk? Did you have a good time? Did you have a good time? Hello, come here. Come here. Oh, what's in there? What's in there? Delicious things. Delicious things. Wow.
Imagine things.
And then we want salt also. Where is it? It's here. I already brought it here. Classic Stephanie. I have washed my hands, but I do touch the animals a lot when I'm cooking, and that's just a thing that happens. So if that makes you uncomfortable, I apologize, but the animals are in our lives to a point where it's like touching them is a regular thing. They sleep in our bed, they lick our faces. We let them lick the dishes after we eat off them. That's the kind of relationship that we have, so you just need to be okay with that. And I'm the one that's eating it, so it's okay. What am I looking for? Cup measure. Yes, Peter shaved. He shaved. He was bored and he shaved. Yeah, it's weird. He hasn't shaved his beard. I think he shaved it once last year for Movember, and then started growing a mo for Movember. Oh, I asked before if the music was an okay level, and then I, of course, didn't read chat to get the response. So I'm just going to ask you again, and then probably not read chat again for the response. I can turn it up or put it down. Music is fine. Great. Thank you, Sim Paradox. All right, that's a lot of breadcrumbs. A cup is a lot. A cup is a lot. But I guess once it's all mixed through the meat. I should just be using my hands for this, but because I have this band-aid on it, I don't really want to. I'll need to form the meatballs with my hands, but I might be able to do that one-handed. How are you, sweetheart? Oh! Gandalf just swatted her in the face. It's dinner time for them, so they all like here being like excited about stuff that's happening. Peter. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I was just going to ask if you could feed the animals because they're dancing for their supper. I said earlier I got a new cooking book from my sister and she gave me before lockdown, and I may look into learning some new things to cook. It's got some nice recipes. Like what, Alpha Pine? What has caught your eye? I feel like whenever you flip through a cookbook, there's always a couple of things that stand out from the start that you're like, oh yeah, I would eat that. Okay, now that the breadcrumbs are mixed through, it really looks like it's definitely the right amount. I mean, not that I'm questioning Debbie. I would never question Debbie. I would never. Debbie, the winner of the Stylish Displays competition. I want to cook a stir fry, but each and every time I end up with a fail. I did too, Sassless. I think you just really need to follow a recipe. If you haven't grown up with Asian parents who have taught you how to cook a proper stir fry, it is not something that comes natural, I think, to Westerners, or at least to me. I think it's like, yeah, you just need to follow a recipe and don't get crazy. Because I always was just like trying to be one of those people who's just like, I'm just going to add whatever. And I'd be like soy sauce and this and blah, blah. And then I would taste it and I'd be like, no. But we cook a lot of stir fries with our like meal box things, and they're always amazing. So, and we only just got a wok. You don't need a wok to cook a stir fry, but it's definitely easier. So, you know, I recommend it. All right. Cooking involves milk and cereal. 2-minute noodles porridge. Yeah, okay, great. Okay, so I've done that. Form a mixture into meatballs about the size of golf balls. I guess I don't really want to form them on this because I'm going to keep using this board, so I might just get a little tray to put them on, or a little dish. I might put them in this little dish.
Is how you imagine things?
Salmon, spinach, and leek phyllo pie looks to be like a good recipe. That sounds amazing. Cool. All right, it's ball time. I'm going to take my rings off because otherwise it's going to be messy. Ball time. Here he comes. Not too late. Yeah, that got their attention. They're acutely attuned to the sound of Tupperware opening where their little biscuits are kept. It's hard to make the balls all the same size when you're just like, I guess it doesn't really matter. There'll be some big birds and there'll be some small birds. You know? Hello. It's your turn next, Scotty. Hopefully the next shipment of her food arrives this week. Otherwise, we'll have to start cooking for her. She can have some meatballs. Okay, my meatballs are just getting bigger and bigger. I'll just take a little bit out of that one. Balls, balls, balls. My cat gets some treats when we wake up. That was a big mistake. Woke up with cat's noise. Yeah. If we try to sleep in on weekends or whatever,
Friend.
the cats get very upset, and Gandalf in particular starts like just parading around the room and crying. Meow. Sini the Hunter, thank you so much for resubscribing. Very kind of you. Good to see you. Good to see you. When I do cookies, I use mini ice cream scooper to help with the proportioning. Yes, that would be very smart. I do not have one of those. I'm just making crazy balls that are different sizes. Oh, wait. Wait. Okay. What a good girl. What a good girl. That's one of the best things I think to teach a dog though, because if you can teach them to wait for their food, then it shows good restraint, and it's easier to teach them to wait for other stuff. You just keep testing them for how long you can make them wait. Turn your back on them, walk into a different room and keep them waiting. It seems mean, but like it's all part of like the sort of broader training stuff, I think. I'm going to try and do this a bit faster. I'm just very slow. And when we walk her off lead, it's really easy to do because she's so used to being told to wait. And when you make that part of a routine, every time we get to a street, stop, sit, wait. Okay. And then, we walk up. If there's another dog coming, stop, sit, wait. Put her on the lead to walk past. All that stuff becomes much easier when you kind of make waiting for things part of her daily life. And she gets used to it. She understands. When the postman comes, sit, wait. And go and like get the package, and she sits there and she watches. It teaches self-discipline. It's essential. Yeah, it's really good. I need to learn this too. Wait. Yeah. Scotty doesn't know how to do any fancy tricks or anything. We just spend a lot of time trying to teach her to be really well behaved, which I think is like makes your quality of life and the life of the dog so much better because you're both happier for it. Balls. I actually think that might be enough. I might stop there and I will put the rest into a little Tupperware. Otherwise, I'm just going to have so many balls, I don't need that many. The rest can be part of Scotty's dinner. Maybe I'll do one more. Unrestrainedly excited when the postie comes. Well, it's the only person that visits anymore. It's the only person that can come to the house. The postman. So sad. Okay. washing my hands. And the meat
Is how you imagine things?
off them. Now I'll just turn this on. And we will now activate Peter's amazing stove setup. I was saying before that in order to get the shot of the stove, Peter has wrangled like several USB extension cords to be able to like get the camera over to the other side of the kitchen, and I'm very impressed with how it turned out. Little bit of olive oil. It's probably enough. Testing the limit of USB distance, totally. Sim Paradox above. Oh, thank you, Trance. Thank you. Sorry, I don't have my chat bot going with the audio thing that gets my attention. Steph, garlic is very toxic to dogs. Don't feed the meatballs to her. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Good to know. And I'm sure a little bit would be fine, but better play it safe, hey? Better to play it safe. We had a Labrador growing up and she just ate everything. And it was never really an issue. Somebody said, I almost fed a grape to Scotty the other day, and somebody was like, grapes are toxic. Dogs can't have them. And I was like, oh shit. We fed my Labrador so many grapes and she lived to be very old. But I guess all dogs react differently to things. I was so surprised to find avocado is toxic to a cockatiel, of all things, an avocado. Yeah, wow. Well, that's Merlin. Yes, he's finished his dinner, so now it's bath time. All right, let's see how we're going. It's a little bit more time. I have these really amazing frying pans that are Danish, and they're really thick, but they take a little while to heat up. But once they get going, they're very good. Oh, no worries, Tarask. Thank you so much. My lab ate everything and lived to be the right old age of 16. Yeah, same. But I guess, it's best to... If you have the knowledge, then it's best not to take the risk. I feel like that's fair.
Oh, damn in mukbang stream time? What a good progression from gaming to singing to cooking. Okay sign, okay sign, okay sign.
Run-of-the-mill Dota guy. Oh, good to see you. So good to see you. Yay. Yeah, I mean, cooking streams take a lot of setup, so I don't do them super often, but like it's so fun to do something a bit different. And it's nice to be able to also talk a lot more, I guess. Whereas when I'm playing games, very focused, distracted. Is Pete doing Movember again this year? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think he's just shaved now because he felt like it. Mukbang time. I don't know. I don't think so. I'll definitely taste everything and then eat the dinner. But mukbang is pretty intense. I don't know that I'm down for that. Macadamia nuts and stone fruit pips too are toxic to dogs. Yeah, and grapes. I think I just said that. All right, let's do these meatballs. I can't see chat over here, so I apologize. But I should be able to just pop them in and leave them for a little bit. These will take a while, I think, because obviously the meat has to cook through the whole ball and turn them and stuff, but I always find it difficult to get meatballs to stay round because when you start turning them, they develop like a square shape. because the bottom half obviously gets cooked, and then you turn them onto the other side, and then it kind of flattens every side that it's sitting on. I don't know how to avoid that. Maybe you don't. Maybe people accept that meatballs are actually cubes, and that's fine. I might turn it down a bit. It's a little bit too hot. And I'll put this into the dishwasher. Oh, I already ran it. What a knob. What game is this? Meatball Sim. Meatball Sim 2021. Is that your kitty's favorite spot? Yeah, they have a little blanket. It's their favorite spot because it's directly below the air conditioner. So when we have that on, they get really hot. Our gas heater is just there, so they get kind of a cross section of heat. And then just to the left of that is our wood burning enclosed fireplace thing. So that table right there is the warmest place in the whole house. And also I think they like to be able to see out the window, look at birds and stuff like that. So in the wintertime, I have that little blanket for them and they both just sleep on that blanket. And then in the summer, I take the blanket away because they like to stretch out on the wood when it's hot. And then again, also with the air conditioning, they like to cool down underneath it in the summertime. So combustion fire. Yeah, I don't know what you call it. It's like a slow burning, one of those big iron wood burning stove things that you like put wood in and you shut it and it like burns it slowly. Oh crap. Meat cubes. Stay. Not you, Scotty. You're all good. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yeah, I see. I see you, sweetheart. Cool. They cooking. Yeah, cooking show. No, thank you. Not while I'm cutting things. Wine would be a bad idea. And I still have 2 more things to cook after this. I'm gonna have a friend on my island in Animal Crossing tonight, and fireworks and a tour. Oh, that sounds like a lovely digital date. That sounds lovely. Next, once the meatballs are complete, put them off to the side while you prepare the nest. I feel like I can prepare the cucumber and the carrots and stuff in the meantime. Because they only take 2 minutes to boil the noodles, so that could happen last. I reckon. Thinly slice your cucumber and carrots into slices about 1/2 centimeter thick, and using your cookie cutters, cut out a star-shaped hole out of the cucumber and the carrot. Yeah, cool. I'm going to do that. Oh, I would not be good on MasterChef. I would like crack under the pressure for sure. For sure. I gotta peel this carrot before I chop it. Did you turn these already?
Yeah.
Oh, what a hero. What a hero. He did it. You know who loves carrot? Scotty. So whenever we peel a carrot, she gets excited because we get to feed her the little carrot bits. She loves them. They're like dog spaghetti. Everyone's gonna be like, no, Stephanie, dogs are allergic to carrot. Like, God damn it. Come here. It's not for you, sweetheart. It's carrots. That's what I said. They turn into cubes because they always get flattened on the side that they're sleeping. They're sitting on. That's probably fine. Carrot is really good for dogs. Yeah. We give her lots of carrot. Lots of carrot, and she loves zucchini. She's fishy. I do these 1/2 centimeter slices. Don't say anything about my chopping.
It's just off.
Well, I have to. I'm just trying to get them a certain size. I'm keeping my fingers away.
Because you're gonna press these, right?
Yeah, with a little cookie cutter.
Like this?
Yeah. Peter, I'm not up to that part yet.
That's pretty cute, though.
I'm not up to that part yet, Peter. I feel like I think I want to do from this end so I get some big ones as well.
Do you cut?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you. Maybe switch cams? This has been Pyro. I just need a director.
You should just set up voice activation for your cooking streams.
That sounds complicated.
Cutting board. Stove.
I've seen some VR streamers do that. They have like a thing where they can change scenes because it's not something that they can access.
There's a guy who was like a caster who was on like the European League of Legends thing. And he has the wildest setup.
She's like a shark emerging from the water. Okay. I think those are roughly the right size. That should be enough. We'll do the cutting at the end. And we'll give this bit of cucumber to Scotty. Wait. Up, up. Jonathan Ong had that set up who Barjo out me onto? Oh, got you onto. Yeah. Jonathan Ong's great. Jonathan Ong's one of the best streamers on Twitch, I think. Anyway. We'll go back to Meatball Cam. They're going pretty well. Meatball Cube's going well. I like that you've cozied them up next to each other into like a little group.
So they can roll into each other.
Yeah. Go away. And so noodles. Boil noodles in briskly boiling water. That sounds like something Nigella would say. Brisk. Hang on, it says boil noodles in briskly boiling water and simmer for 3 minutes. A simmer is not a boil. Confusing messaging. Indo me. So I might actually just boil the kettle. Oops.
What does it need? It only needs like a cup and a half of water.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, and it can go in the little pot. Well, that's not enough. It needs to cover it. That's not enough.
Oh, that'll be close.
Peter, that's not
It
enough.
doesn't need to drown in it.
Peter, just
Honestly.
double that amount and then put the lid on.
It doesn't need double.
Peter, this is...
You're talking to a 2-minute noodle master here. You want more?
Yeah.
Why?
Because... Crack the whip. Funny. Just microwave them. Yep.
Do that.
Yeah. But we're not going to because this is a cooking stream. It's not a microwaving stream.
Microwave.
I should get a head start on these. Preheat the oven to 160 fan force. The Just Do It dance, yeah. Once boiling, add the noodles and cook according to the packet instructions. If our theory is correct, it should only take about 2 minutes. I like that instruction. Oh, Debbie.
Thomas.
Here. Sorry, Peter. It says add them to the plate, but I feel like I want to put them in a bowl. I think I might use this bowl. It's kind of a cross between a plate and a bowl, and it would be good for noodles, I think. You know? And we'll need to drain the noodles. So I'll get this. I totally ran the dishwasher so that I would have a clean, empty dishwasher to put things in, and then I forgot to empty it. Like a fool. Like the fool that I am. What's everyone else having for dinner? Don't put your dirties in with the clean slop. Peter's a fresh baby face. He sure is. So clean. Rub it here. It feels weird. I'm so used to it being spiky. Or furry. Enchiladas, chicken pesto. You love chicken pesto, Reese. I've heard you talk about chicken pesto a lot. That must be your go-to.
Yeah.
That must be your go-to recipe. You love it. I love pesto too. Have you ever made your own pesto? You should make your own pesto, Reese. Just once, like when you want to like step it up a notch. Not sure. Need to plan something. Just waiting for our groceries to be delivered. Nice.
I'm gonna put these on the table if that's alright, because I can't open it properly.
Oh yeah, fair. Trying HelloFresh tonight for the first time? Oh my gosh, I'm cooking Marley Spoon. How exciting. We love those meal box things. They're awesome. You had pesto once, but you're allergic to nuts. I'm sure there are pesto recipes without nuts that give you like an alternative. You could put like a breadcrumb in there or some parmesan and that would give it a similar texture. Mac and cheese.
Pretty sure these are done.
Nice. All right. We'll put them in a little separate thing. Meat cubes. I wonder how you cook meatballs and get them to stay as balls. There must be a way. There must be a way. Alright, noodle time. It's just not enough water. It's just not enough.
You gotta break the cake. Obviously you're not using this stuff, right?
No, I am, according to packet instructions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't go in water.
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe she doesn't want me to use those. But
I
according
don't think you would.
to packet instructions would be. But then the noodles will be tasteless. I
They'll be
guess.
quite brown.
Yeah, I guess.
'Cause it's like,
This is a very Asian seasoning, and I've got meatballs with rosemary in them.
yeah, I think it would be odd to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. 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 It really, I guess it's just a recipe that is about looks more than taste, so that it looks like Angry Birds. Don't use the seasoning, okay? Otherwise, they will just. Are you saying half seasoning?
Who's saying that?
Chat's just helping out. They're offering advice.
Chat's full of shit.
Salt your noodle water. I'll do it. I'll do it.
You don't need to salt your 2-minute noodle water.
Peter, when has salt ever made anything worse?
That's true.
I reckon we can use a little bit of this.
I would. You could use this one, because that's just oil.
Yeah, okay. And what about
That's gonna be like chili powder, and that's fried onion.
fried onion?
And then that's like a soy, which will make it brown. Oh, and that's a chili paste. I don't know what.
I reckon we could put a little soy in there, just a touch.
It'll make them brown. I don't know if they need to be yellow. Are these?
Well,
triangle
it's a
birds?
nest.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's a
Well,
bird's nest.
Then it can be brown as you like, because sticks are brown.
I'm gonna put the stuff in. I think it'll be good.
Well, you do that afterwards.
Yeah, okay. All of it afterwards,
Yeah.
including the soy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're putting them in this bowl.
What is this music? It's called. Yes, I am. It is called Lo-Fi Royalty-Free Music, and it's a playlist on Spotify. Lo-Fi royalty-free music. It is my go-to playlist for streaming because a little bit's fine. A little bit's fine. I'm gonna start making these little things. Ow. That's adorable. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that. Let's do one with these two. With the star. I need to be able to like push down on it without using my fingers because it's harder with the carrot. My gosh, I love this. This is very Japanese to do this kind of thing.
A little bento box.
Like a little bento box. Exactly.
Do you want to mix all that together?
This is the noodle seasoning. And you've just put it straight into the serving bowl like a madman. I suppose I could wipe down the edges afterwards like a chef.
Sorry?
I suppose I can just wipe down the edges afterwards like a chef.
The cat fight. Will the cats fight? They tend to.
Yeah, they do. Especially Gandalf, like, he likes to sit above Merlin and then just bite him. Because he's a dickhead. It's really annoying. And I can see whenever I walk in and he's sitting over him like that, I know that he's just been biting him. And I'm like, stop that. And he looks at me and he's like... Miss Stallion, thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. That's so kind. JT Builds as well, thank you so much for giving me your Prime. That was 21 minutes ago, so I'm really sorry that I didn't say that then. Run-of-the-mill Dota Guy, thank you so much for subscribing as well. 49 months. Just here for That's cool. Huge. Amazing. And Transcuja 9, thank you so much for subscribing as well. Very kind of you. Very kind of you all. I was wondering if you played the AC Valhalla expansion Siege of Paris. If so, your thoughts, please. I have not. In fact, I haven't actually played a whole lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's on my back pocket shame shave list because I really enjoyed what I played of it. But then I just got because of COVID this year, I've been playing a lot more multiplayer stuff just because I don't get any social interaction otherwise with the outside world. So that's kind of how I sort of see my friends and get my sort of social fix, I guess. But I have fully intend to go back to it and play it, and hopefully the expansion as well, because people say the expansion's great. Okay, so there's the noodle nest, and is this a dim sum? It's kind of like it's not really anything. It's creating Angry Birds.
Novelty meal.
It's a novelty meal. Oh, I need to... Peter?
Yeah.
Would you mind going and cutting, like, a bunch of stems of rosemary for me, please? I need to make them like the tree branches of the nest. Thank you. So I guess... I don't think there's an instruction to add the balls, but I'm just going to add them. I'll just look at the picture. Yeah, so in making the noodles with the sauce, they're a lot wetter, so it's harder to like form a nest out of them. The noodles, when they were dry, you know. Might be a better one, less charred. I'm trying to choose the roundest ones. And then she's got these little things here. That. Then like that. I didn't finish this. And now I need to make the little faces. And I do that with cheese. Merlin, it's your favorite. It's cheese time. Look at him. He's like, yes. Balls. Oh my gosh, that's so much. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Perfect.
So lots.
Yeah.
We have too much rosemary.
I was telling them about the rosemary that we planted when we moved in, and then it's just like slowly taken over.
3.
Yeah, because they were so tiny when we bought them.
I planted 1, and you're like, we need more. We're gonna have to have more. And suddenly we have a lot more.
Go. There's the branches of the tree. And then we need to do like...
Great.
How does she make the little... What's great?
I said this looks great.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the wine.
You got me.
Does she give instructions or does she just say use a knife? How do you get the little...
Nice.
How do you get to make the face? Cut out small triangles and circles. Okay. Cool.
You can make... You have a tiny tiny little one of these?
No, it's more like, how do I do the circles? I guess I'll just use a sharp knife. There's a beak.
This'll do it.
There's a beak. What's that?
It's a little thread.
What do you mean it's a little thread?
It's a thread adapter.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Chopstick to push it out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Amazing.
How many eyeballs do you need?
6.
No one's gonna eat so much cheese after this.
Yeah, well, he's very skinny, so he needs it.
I'm making Swiss cheese.
Another beak? You are making Swiss cheese. That's funny. Perfect. Thank you, Peter. A beak. This one's not quite right. A beak. Oh my god. A beak. Oh, you can't really see it. Hang on, let me just move. And now the little eyes. One. Damn it. No! There we go. 2. I think this one will do better if we put it like this. Stay. It's decidedly less nest-like, but I feel like I've captured the heart of the image. You know what I should have used? Tristan gave me those like micro herb tweezers, and I was like, when am I ever going to use these? This would have been the moment. This would have been the moment.
It's a good meatball.
Is it?
Mm.
Oh, good. You ask Scotty.
I'm a witcher.
Just going to put this stuff aside. Put them in a little Tupperware for a salad. You give that to Merlin. Mm-hmm. What a good boy. What time is it? 5:30. Going good for time. Going good for time. Lenovo needs a color-coded knife kit. Have a chat to them. Yeah, that would be a hard sell. A knife set.
RGB knives.
RGB knives. That'd be funny. Now we'll set up a little shot for Instagram. Little cookie cutters. Like this. Looks pretty cute. It looks pretty good. Yeah? Little birds? Yay!
There we go. Just focus.
I'll take a little picture. What? The cheese? Yeah, he fucking loves it. He's so nuts for cheese. Oh, funny. It's a funny little dish. Well, now I have to taste it. I'll wash this noodle fork. Quickly. Scotty is getting jealous. Yeah. She's had plenty, trust me. Merlin is very skinny. He needs to eat more. I'll try and bring him over here and we can feed him some on camera so people can see. He doesn't really like being held, but Peter, if you just feed him... Oh, sorry. I know. Shh. Oh, he can't. I can't do it. I can't do it with one hand.
What did you need?
I was just trying to feed him so that they could see it, but I can't hold him and feed him at the same time. He doesn't like it. Shh. You're okay.
Hey,
You're okay.
Oh, cheesy.
Ooh, yum.
He's tried it. Yeah, he doesn't.
Gandalf I can hold like a baby all day, but Merlin does not like being held at all. He really loves it. Yeah, he goes nuts. He goes actually nuts for cheese. Little meatball. Little bit of noodle. Mmm. It tastes like all those items you would imagine them to taste individually, but together.
Not so much a meal.
Not so much a meal.
Food on a plate.
But it looks cute. It doesn't taste bad. It's just like it's 2-minute noodles and meatballs.
There's some premium noodles though. That's mega, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I was like I couldn't bear to not use the sauce because that's like the good stuff, right? One more bite than cookies. Very good. Oh man, I haven't had mee goreng in ages. These ones we used, so we need to wash. These ones for Tupperware. That's food. Need some sauce is all. Yeah, it had mee goreng sauce on it. It's just like, yeah, it's like a meatball on some 2-minute noodles. My 10-year-old would love that. Yeah, that's true. It'd be a good kid recipe because kids love bland things that like aren't a meal.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I don't like anything too fancy.
Now, do you like little star carrots? Up. Up. Oh. Up.
Come here. Here. Oh, she's like dancing.
She's behind the thing.
When she gives a little pause, it's so cute. It's so cute. All right, where did I put that? Here it is. All right. Greens, Australian since 1978.
What was it before that?
Didn't exist, Peter. Uh-oh, I need that bowl.
That one.
That one. It's got mince in it.
Can you get another top for it?
Yes.
Fit in this.
Okay, cool. You Tupperware, I wash.
Make a burger tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the mince has breadcrumbs and garlic and rosemary in it, so you can make a burger, you can make like a bolognese. I don't know. Do you remember seeing burgers on the menu for the bootlegger?
Yeah, there's burgers on that, yeah.
Because I don't know if it was on the takeaway menu, but they're doing hot dogs now as well, which I thought would be kind of cool. Put more detergent into this washy thingy. Okay. Stop humping! She's humping. It might be out of date if it's from 78. Good. Very good. Already dark there? Yeah, the sun is almost down. Just see a little bit of light in the horizon, but it's almost down. Pet cam is top tier, yeah. Yeah, well, they spend a lot of their time hanging out in the kitchen, so it's a cool place to be. Isn't that right? Where the food is, my sweetheart. My sweetheart. Okay. So, place the cookie mix into a bowl with the egg and the melted butter. So it wants how much melted butter? 1.5 tablespoons. That's not very much.
1 egg.
Mm-hmm.
That makes and butter is all.
Yeah. It's very simple. It's kind of the goal with a packet mix. Thank you.
What?
It's the microwave. A microwave door doesn't open unless you smash it
You need
first.
it to open?
Yeah, I need to melt this butter.
Oh!
Yeah, it's dumb. Put it in for 20 seconds. All right, packet mix. Packet baking. Now you're speaking my language. Yeah. Not if I wasn't doing multiple things in the cooking stream, I would feel bad about it. But I've just had this packet mix sitting in the cupboard for ages, and I just never make it. So now I'm like, today's the day. Today's the day. And then we're going to cook our proper dinner, which is very exciting. So the chips are like already in there. Easy. And the sugar is already in there. And the flour and the whatever baking powder and stuff. butter back in the fridge. Open! Oh my god, it's not even melted yet. I need to do it for longer. Maybe like 55 seconds? Hello, my darling. Hello, my sweet angel. What a good girl. Okay. We'll wash these, we'll wash these. Uh-oh. Stop! Oh. There is butter everywhere. 55 seconds was too long! It was too long! Microwave explosion! Hopefully I didn't lose enough in the explosion that I need to add more. Maybe I'll just add a touch more. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Just in case. Butter would be a sad thing to not have enough of. And it's not melted, but like, look. I'll add it to the melted part and it'll melt in with the other stuff. Mix it and see! This feels like relatable content. Yeah. Butter explosion. No. Then we put the egg in as well. This is a happy egg because it came from a happy hen. Because it's free range. So it has a little smiley face on it. Egg. And then mix with a wooden spoon until just combined, then knead gently with hands to form a smooth dough. Need a cookie tray. Spoon, okay. Just make sure that butter melts. The rest. And then maybe I should have beaten the egg first, I don't know. So given that this is not a cake mix but a dough, does this really not need any water or anything? Cookie mix, egg, melted butter. And it was 1.5 tablespoons of melted butter. But yeah, I guess it doesn't want to be too wet because it's got to be a dough mixture. And I guess it always feels like at the start it's the wrong consistency, but then you just keep mixing it and eventually it's like, it'll surprise you. Are you threatening that egg? Stab it. Egg. Oh yeah, egg. Hey Hex, I hope you're having fun. I am DK4. I am. Good to see you in the chat. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to my stream. Making sure I'm not missing any alerts. So at this point, I feel like I should start mixing it with my hands. But again, because I have this cut on my hand, I don't really want to get it all cookie-fied, so I might just mix with one hand. To get the dough happening. It's pretty squishy. Knead gently with hands to form a smooth dough. I don't know if I would describe this as a smooth dough. But I guess once you smudge it like that, it becomes dough-like. So I think that's pretty good. Oh yeah, it's taken its form. I just need to take the spoon out of the equation. This is definitely a situation where Shark's scoopy thing would be really useful. Maybe I could use like a soup spoon? It's not really a... "10 even cookie balls." I mean, I don't know what size they're supposed to be. I guess I'll make them the same size as the meatballs. Oh, I need to put a sheet down, a cookie sheet down. What do you call it? Baking paper. Otherwise they'll get stuck. And that wouldn't be any good. When I was making the scones yesterday, because I've never made scones before, but a tip that I read, I got a BBC recipe because I was like, it needs to be a British recipe because the Brits know how to make scones. The recipe suggested you put the baking tray into the oven for like 10 minutes before you start to... I am Cap'n, thanks for the sub. Thanks so much. Amazing. You put the baking tray into the oven and then you take it out so that the tray is already hot when you put the scones on there, because scones only bake for like 10 minutes. And so if the tray is already hot, it'll help, you know, cook the underneath of them. And that was really cool. That was a really good tip. All right, baking paper. Baking paper is never like the size I need it for the tray. It's always just... I need to get one of those silicone cookie sheets that you just wash afterwards, so that I don't have to use the paper. Better for the environment. Man, silicone just transformed baking. I have all those silicone like muffin trays and stuff, and they are just the bomb. Oops. All right, ball. Ball 1. Ball 2. I feel like maybe these balls aren't big enough. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to separate it into halves, the whole dough into half, well, what looks like half, and then I'll have a better idea of like how to get 5 even balls. That's smart. Good job, Steph. I feel like maybe a little bit more on that side. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. I mean, it looks like it was the same size as the balls that I was already making. I probably would have been fine. That's it. My mum always had this secret to good scones and was pinching really cold butter into the flour. Hers are awesome. Yeah, it did say to, because usually with most baking recipes, you have to leave the butter out for a while. And then you leave the butter out for a while and then it's soft for when you add it to the mixture. But with scones, it was different. It was like you want the butter like fridge cold and then you cut it into cubes and then you like massage it into the mix. And that is like, because scones are really simple. They're really simple but easy to F up, I think. One of those things. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feels smaller. Sometimes I guess you just got to use your judgment a little bit. Balls, balls, balls. It's a very balls-themed cooking stream. Which again, you know, appropriate for me, really. Conjoined cookies are the best cookies. Nothing worse than a F scone. Yeah, totally. This one feels too small. Like this one, maybe I need to carve some out of. Give it to this guy. Need some love. They're not all going to fit on this tray, which I think I knew was going to happen. Deep down, I knew. Maybe if I like staggered them or something. I just really don't want to have to do a second tray, you know? Get that dough! This one also feels slightly too small. Is there a chungus one that I can... Maybe this guy. Alright. Social distancing. Like everyone makes that joke at the moment. What's the best way? Well, some of them are too close to the edge, you know? Like that one's huge. This one's massive. This is the first one I made. Needs more space. 2 trays. Yeah, right. Alright, fine. Fine. I accept it. I do have 2 trays. I may as well use them. I always just get nervous about 2 trays because I feel like the heat in the oven is different. But I could also set a timer and swap the trays around halfway through so that they get like an even go. Yeah. It's a 2 tray operation. I accept that. I accept that. These are going to spread out so far and you guys are going to be like, imagine if you'd done 1 tray. What a disaster. What a disaster. Oh my god, this is like some weird OCD thing. I can't in my head. Be okay with this. Okay. Okay. Also, tip for cookies just is to put the balls into the fridge for a bit to firm first. Firm the butter, that way they don't spread out as much. Oh, yeah, okay. I feel like I would do that, but I also kind of have to get on with my next thing. Press gently with fingertips. What about freezer for 5? Whoa. All right, deal. Freezer for 5. We can do it. We can do it. Freezer for 5. These will fit in the top drawer. Hey Google, set a timer for 5 minutes. Watch yourself forget them. Yeah, well, timer is good for that. All right, so that's probably going to give me just enough time to do a bit of washing. BRB. I might just mute my mic and take my headset off while I just do some washing and stuff, and I'll turn the music up. And then I can duck to the bathroom as well. Don't have a repeat of last time.
Is how you imagine things.
Okay. I feel like like Jamie Lee Curtis to this music. That's so funny. I couldn't hear it. That's funny. How many times till the chat went off? All right, cookies are going in. And that said 15 to 18 minutes. I'm going to put them in for 18 because they've been in the freezer. Hey Google, set a timer for 18 minutes. And I definitely prefer like a bit of a like crunchy cookie on the outside. You know, it's that whole thing of like getting the balance between sort of a little bit crunchy, chewy on the outside, but like soft in the middle, which is what I think putting them in the freezer will help with. So, Shadama, good advice. Not on the packet. That's a chat-only edition. Who did you end up going with for your new kitchen, and is there a pantry you can still hide in? No. So we found a local company called Blue Mountains Kitchens, which was good so that we could get mostly like local tradies and stuff, which is always nice, rather than like doing like an IKEA thing or whatever. And we actually got rid of our pantry. We had a huge pantry that took up a lot of space, and the space economy in this kitchen was not great. And also like it was very dark. So the pantry was in the corner, and so we had to put the fridge here that blocked the only light that we had coming in from the window from the laundry, which is just over there. So we actually got rid of the pantry and put the fridge where the pantry was, and we actually just have our food now in one of the above cabinets and one of the below cabinets, and it works fine. It works totally fine. I just have all like tea and baking things and cookies and stuff up here, and then down underneath, because there's only two of us. Maybe it would probably be a problem if a big family moved in here, but I mean, that's a problem that they can solve. For us, it worked best. I live in Hartley House. Oh, wow. That's amazing. The Blue Mountains, it's amazing. Does your fridge do ice and soda stream? It does ice and water. It doesn't do sparkling water. But we have a soda stream. Pokey P, hi, it's going well. Thank you. I've made two things. I've made the Stylish Displays winner, Debbie, who made the Angry Birds meatballs. And I've made some cookies that I just put in the oven. I say made some cookies, it was a packet mix, but whatever. And now I'm going to make dinner. So I'm going to make our, just like Peter and I do this meal box thing. This is not sponsored at all, but we just really like Marley Spoon, so we do that. We usually do it 3 nights a week, but with lockdown we do it 4 nights a week because just not going anywhere. So this is our last one for the week. We've done them all. This is our 4th meal, and it is rich braised beef with mash, and then it has like a pear and rocket salad. So that's nice. So I'll just get the like ingredients now. Do you get a spoon? They sent us a big wooden spoon. Where is it? Okay, I washed it. Yeah, I think it's in the drying rack somewhere. But yeah, they sent us a little wooden spoon. It was cool. Clever branding. So it's this and this and this, I think. I'd say the only deterrent for people doing these kinds of meal box things is that sometimes the packaging is not great if you're trying to reduce the amount of plastic packaging that you use. They're pretty good. Like, it comes in a paper bag, and the box is a cardboard box. But then inside that, the cold things have to go into like a little cold pack with a little cold block thing, and that's also plastic. So I think they've done their best to try and reduce the plastic, but like I think it's a difficult thing to balance with like making sure that everything is kept really fresh, knowing that it's A, going to sit on people's doorsteps for a little while, and B, you know, they need to last. They might not cook it until the end of the week or something, and the ingredients have to stay fresh for that period of time. But I guess for us, it kind of, reduces wastage overall. Is it HelloFresh? It's Marley Spoon. Not sponsored, I should say, by Marley Spoon anyway. This stream is sponsored by Lenovo. Because whenever I would try to cook a recipe that required like, I don't know, a pumpkin or a big sprig or a big thing of celery or something like that, I would often buy all those ingredients and then use like 1 stick of celery or whatever, or a little bit of the pumpkin, and then I put the rest of the ingredients back in the fridge, and then life gets really busy, and then we don't end up using those things, and then everything ends up going to waste anyway. So I find that because with these meal box things, they just send you the ingredients that you need. The packaging is not great, but I feel like the overall waste, I don't know, maybe it just evens out. Recipes are an assumed minimum of 4 people, and it's frustrating. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, there's like a family meal box thing. I guess you could just add the number of people? Because I'm pretty sure that when I do it with Peter, like, it gives me the option to just be like, I want to have it 4 nights a week, and then I add the number of people. I think that was the option anyway, but maybe I'm wrong. Not HelloFresh Marley Spoon, just just in general. Yeah, right. Also no overeating. Yeah, I mean, some of them I find that like some of the pasta dishes, I find we don't end up eating all of it, so we have leftovers anyway. But you could also, like, if you want to have leftovers, you could get the meal for 4 people if there's just 2 of you, or if there's 1 of you, you could get it for 2 people, and then you just cook all of it and then have the rest for lunch the next day or whatever. Oh my god, Stephanie, read the recipe, don't just start doing stuff. Onion, carrot, garlic, peel potatoes. Yep. Saucepan of water. You know, I'm going to have a before dinner cookie. I'm going to have to, because how can I not? How can I not have warm cookies from the oven? I'm going to have a before dinner cookie. Maybe I'll split it and I'll have half, because they're really big, I think, and I don't want to spoil my dinner, but I'll have half maybe and then give the other half to Peter. Look at those two boys. They're so sweet. On their little blanket. Okay. We've been getting HelloFresh and find the portions are really big. Like you can stretch 2 people to 3, and we were stretching 4 people to 5. Like we would just add a little bit more rice or something. Yeah, totally. I think it's just whatever works for you. I usually just, Peter like eats a little bit more than me because he's a bigger man with bigger muscles to maintain. So I usually just, when I'm dividing up the meals, I just give him a little bit more and me a little bit less, and then that works out pretty good for both of us. Oh my god, just get out. Okay. If you put a wet paper towel under the chopping board, it won't slip. Safety tip. That is a good safety tip. I just realized I've washed the other chopping board and now I'm using this tiny one, which is silly. I'll grab it in a sec after I've done these potatoes.
Just here for the coin.
Just here
Good
for the
evening,
coin.
Steph. Hope you have been well.
Fozzie Bear, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing. And good evening to you. I have been well. I'm just cooking dinner. I'm just cooking dinner on stream, you know? Just cooking dinner. All right. I don't eat a lot of potatoes. I find them like, as a carb, pretty boring. I just really love bread and I love pasta. And so if I'm like going to have a carb component of a meal, I would prefer bread and pasta over potatoes any day. But in this instance, a mash is definitely the way to go with a braised beef dish like this. But I just find myself not eating a lot of potatoes voluntarily. Obviously, like in chip form, they're pretty different. Chips are great, but I don't really make chips at home by myself. I think I probably would if I had an air fryer. And I love the idea of an air fryer. Bajo has one, I think. He really loves it. And some of my girlfriends have them. But I just don't have space. This is a really big appliance. And it's just like I already have a few things, you know, like I have a slow cooker, pressure cooker thing. And I have like some mixing stuff. And it all just really adds up.
How's it going, sweetheart?
Good.
Sorry I abandoned you.
Oh, that's okay.
What's going on?
I'm cooking dinner.
Oh, yeah? What you up to?
No, I just am doing the potatoes ahead of time because they're always like, put the potatoes in cold water, and then I always just feel like that's not enough time for mashing.
Imagine things.
So I'm just getting them started a little bit early.
Cut them a bit smaller as well.
Yeah. It says, what does it say?
It says
2 centimeter chunks. Yeah, okay.
A bit smaller than it recommends.
No, this is fine, I think. The water is already warm is the thing, so it'll be good. These are the knife skills that Peter was talking about that I have. Amazing. Okay. Oh my god, there's a whole other potato. Do you want to do that? Scotty, there's carrot. You know what that means. You know what that means. She doesn't want to do it while she's
She's had enough carrot, I think.
well, it's also more that she's just like being held, and I think she just feels awkward eating it when she's being held like that, unless it was beef. Do you want to cut that other potato? Up, up, up. Oh my god, her little face is so sweet. Little happy face. She's like, thanks, Mom. Onion. There was onion. Could you pass me another knife, please? It says to cut the onions finely. The worst. The worst.
Yeah.
Mushrooms are great. There's no mushrooms in this.
Mushrooms suck, Flo.
Mushrooms are great. I love them too. I didn't always love them. I didn't love them when I was a kid. I think it's a texture thing. There's also a great documentary on Netflix called
Mushrooms suck.
no, it's called like Wonderful World of Fungi or something, which seems like super nerdy and lame, but I watched the trailer for it and it looks great, and I think we should watch it, Peter. And maybe it'll change your mind on mushrooms. Maybe it will. But yeah, I didn't like them when I was young, and then I was vegetarian for about 6 years, and my mom was like, you're gonna eat mushrooms if you expect to get iron from vegetables, and I was like, okay. And she made them, at first I just had them raw, because I found, like, when you cook them and they get a bit slimy, I wasn't into it, and, so I would have them raw with just, like, a bit of onion and salad dressing and stuff. It's like sharp intake of breath. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm bad at cutting. And then eventually I started just having them a little bit with like eggs and stuff. If I ordered a big breakfast and it came with mushrooms, I'd just like have one or two, and then I kind of like graduated to chunky bits of mushroom from there. And now I like mushroom fine. I'll never like, I don't think I'll ever like handle like a big fucking bowl of mushrooms, but I like them. Or when you have them, when cafes do them like on toast with like feta cheese and stuff, like that's good. That's good mushroom. Feta cheese.
Feta cheese.
Imagine these knife skills on MasterChef. Imagine. This is how I cut onion. It's how I'll always cut onion till my dying days.
This knife isn't a great chopping knife. Too small.
Yeah. I don't really know what that knife is for.
I think it would be for like slicing fishies.
Oh, like a paring knife.
Yeah. Meats.
Baked mushrooms stuffed with cheese. Mwah! Said Bobo Goggle.
Lots of people saying I look like Fred Savage.
Fred Savage.
Of the
Oh, the Wonder Years?
Wonder Years.
No, I don't think so. You know who you remind me of when you have your face shaved? Is that actor who is in
Rupert Friend.
a lot of stuff. No, not Rupert Friend. What is his name?
This how you imagine things?
What did I see him in just recently? What was I watching just recently and he was in it? Lotus.
White Lotus.
White Lotus. This guy. Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn.
That
He
guy.
was in, yeah. I got that a lot when he was in that, like, riding in cars with boys.
Oh, yep. Yep. Similar face shape, I think. Okay, so. Potatoes need to go in the saucepan now.
Go for it.
Stop. So I don't want to get boiling water on my hands. That was cookie timer. Oh, they look pretty good. I would say another minute maybe.
Is how you imagine things?
Just for my personal taste. Hey Google, set a timer for 1 minute. Get that poochie back here. Mushrooms are delish. How are you still talking about mushrooms? It's not even a part of this meal or any meal that we've had today. The garlic. We gotta do the garlic thing again. This is a small clove. I'm gonna get a bigger one just because we have it. Or I can get a second one.
I put the, that crusher in the dishwasher.
Oh. Stop. Yeah. This.
Well, I just put it on.
Oh. One can go here. And then there's no oven in this meal, is there?
I don't believe so.
Then I will turn it off. Don't, Peter. No, stop it.
Can you eat it straight away?
No.
Why not?
It has to stand for a little bit.
Why?
Because it has to. And then I will cut one and we will share it. Don't do it, Peter.
I'm moving these out.
Stop it. No.
On the fire.
Well, we need to find, I need to get a little cooling tray.
Oh, you might be able to reach it.
Yes.
This one?
I reckon I'll need two.
We'll get them all on one.
Hot. Can you please grab this one with the glove? It's up here. Thank you, my love. Pretty good. Yum. They're very hot though, so I'm going to let them stand and then we will have one. cookies. Your leg is bleeding? Why is your leg bleeding? Quick Pete, she isn't looking. I am looking. I have cameras everywhere. I can see everything. I can see everything. Can you put mushrooms in cookies? Stop it, chat. There's no mushrooms in this. There's no mushrooms. Oh, crap. Bring to the boil. Okay, so they've got to bring to the boil and then we want to cook them for. Let's just set a timer anyway, just in case. For the potatoes. Hey Google, set a timer for 12 minutes. Then at least we can just like stab them and see if they're ready. What? Sneeze. Peeling garlic sucks, but Peter showed me that if you smudge it with a knife first, since you're going to crush it anyway, then the skin comes off easier.
Oh, I don't smudge it like that.
What do you mean? How do you smudge it?
Well, I can show you.
Too late.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. You are going to smudge it. But you just crack it, and it cracks the skin. And...
That's what I did.
Yeah, but you pressed it down until it was like flat.
Well, you know, I feel like 110%, right? Let's get it done.
Do something? Do it 100.
Don't go halfway. Smudge it proper. All right, there are my little garlics. Will just got to experience baby Peter face. Lol. You just activated my Google Home too. Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh. Merlin sniffing something. Is he? Oh. He smelled something, did he? I don't know. Okay, there's the garlic. That's kind of the edge bit. Peter is cooking the beef. While the potato is cooking, heat it, blah, 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 frying pan. Separate the beef, stir fry, and season with salt and pepper. Cook beef, stirring occasionally for 2 minutes until browned. Peter is doing that now. Start the braise. Heat 2 teaspoons of olive oil in a frying pan over high heat. Cook the onion, carrot, garlic, stirring occasionally for 4 minutes until the onion is softened. Add 2 teaspoons of flour. We're going to need to get the flour out, guys. Can I reach it? No, she cannot.
Can you get it now?
Yeah, otherwise I'll get the stepladder if you're busy. Did you cut the carrot small enough? Yeah, I don't think so. It's got to be smaller than that. Because the carrot's going into the braise, so it kind of makes up part of the sauce. So you don't want it to be like too chunky. When we make our bolognese, we usually leave it chunky because I think it's nicer. But in this instance, smaller is better. And it does say finely chop. Yum! Oopsie, there's some garlic in there.
What's got to go on with it, ain't it? Oh, the skin.
Is the beef done?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So next,
Onion, carrot, garlic.
yeah, it does say put more oil in there, but is there enough? Do you think?
I just put more on.
Oh, you put more. Onion, carrot, garlic goes in. Trying to wash as I go. And then we can do a cookie test.
What'd you do?
I did it again.
What'd you do?
No.
Did you cut yourself?
Yes.
On a knife?
Yes.
The knife that you just threw into there, upside down?
Yes.
Famously.
Oh, why?
Run that under some cool water. Get you a Band-Aid?
Yeah. God damn it. This is like the 5th cut I've had on my hand this week. And yesterday Peter closed his finger in a drawer. Oh, it sucks. Oh my gosh, it's right against my fingernail too. No. I can't believe I put that knife in upside down. What a knob. I didn't do it with the other one. Alright. Let me just dry it on a paper towel. Also, like, we had shitty knives before and they just weren't as sharp. And these new knives are so much better for cooking, but I cut myself a lot. Alright. Yeah, thank you. Alright, casualty number 2. Cut more stuff up. Medic Pete. Nice house. Oh, thank you. We live in the mountains. We live in the mountains. Well, I just feel like I need to provide context for people because.
You missed a piece of potato.
Oh no. Give it to Scotty.
She likes potato?
I think she likes everything.
Okay.
Unsure, but she's going for it. Nah, spat it out. Well, I feel like I just need to provide context because I feel like people need to know that we wouldn't be able to afford a house this nice if we didn't live an hour and a half away from Sydney.
No hospital's up here. Cut yourself bad enough. It's all over.
That's not true. There is a hospital up here. I think they can handle like emergencies, like cutting yourself, but I think if anything serious, you need to be airlifted to Nepean. Time to get Steph some chainmail gloves for the kitchen. Yeah.
Oh.
And that's a mood. Sydney house prices. Yeah. Oh man. Struggle town. Out. Flour and then.
The Worcestershire? That's the worst.
I've got the smallest one that I could find.
Well, they gave us Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah.
A tablespoon of tomato paste. Very cool.
It's crispy on the outside. Gooey in the middle.
Did you go to that camera? You didn't go to that camera.
Oh. Thank you. I actually think it's like underdone. Maybe I shouldn't have put them in the freezer.
What do you put?
The cookie dough. It's all good. I can chuck them in for a bit longer. Good thing we tested. This bit's okay. How long were they in for? 19 minutes? Tastes good though. Why are you still using a knife? Blood through the gum. Yeah, I can see it. It's still contained, but I might just get another one once the worst of it is over. Add the beef? No, until it's thickened.
This only just went in.
I'm just gonna grab another Band-Aid. That's probably the potatoes. Can't get this Band-Aid off. Ow. Feels like it's calmed down a bit now. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm coming. You can say what you want to say now.
Hello.
Are you okay? I hope it doesn't hurt. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but it's like, I will survive. It's a very small cut. It's just like those knives are so sharp that even small cuts, like... bleed for a long time. It's to temperature when the little thermometer goes away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey Google, set a timer for 3 minutes. I feel like 3 minutes will do it. Did someone make a donation before? I missed that. Let me have a look. Oh, it's gonna want me to log in. It's gonna want to have a... Oh no? No, it's all... Someone did make a donation before. I'm so sorry I missed it. Able Gamers, and I've switched to 6 monthly.
Nice.
I'm so sorry. I see you. I am just... Recent events. Wapple. $3. Thank you so much for the... Oh, thanks so much for the donation. What is the dog doing? That was 22 minutes ago. I'm so sorry I missed that. I'm so sorry I missed that.
Doing now. She's doing the same thing.
You have your answer. Okay. Bring the vegetable. Have you added the beef? You've added the beef. And now you're mashing the potatoes.
Yeah.
So I need to chop the pear, it looks like, is what we're up to.
It looks like you're making a little pear rocket salad.
Yeah.
This stuff is red.
Uh-oh. I will chop fast.
Don't chop fast.
Don't chop fast.
Chop slowly.
Oh gosh. But in my defense, the 2 times I've cut myself today have not been chopping things. It's my hand accidentally coming into contact with a knife that has been resting somewhere. That is my issue. That is my issue. If you keep it up, I see another $3 coming your way. More dog, more dog. I know, I wish I could have a full-time dog cam, but she moves around too much.
You could do a dog cam that is a GoPro that's strapped to her.
You can see her perspective.
Yeah.
Cut the cheeks from the pear, then thinly slice. The cheeks. Yeah. Stop.
So, cookies.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, here. Can put them over here.
They're still pretty doughy. I think they need a bit longer.
2. Hey Google. Set a timer for... Hey Google.
Thank you.
Set a timer for 2 minutes.
I'll never forget what you did for me.
This one is for the kids.
Wapple. That's so nice. Alright, for that you get more Scotty. Scotty, what a good girl. There she is, special girl. She's the best dog in the world. Imagine if she was too big to pick up. That would be terrible. Some serious mashing going on over there.
Mashing is serious business.
It is very serious business. What about Pear? Is Pear toxic for dogs? Can she have Pear? Pear should be fine. Guess what, Scotty? It's your lucky day. Yum! Is there garlic in that mash?
Put a little bit of garlic powder in it.
Did you?
And a lot of butter.
That wasn't in the recipe. Did you put butter? Was there butter in the recipe?
I don't know.
You just put butter in there?
Yeah.
Peter. I got this because it's...
No fat, yummy tummy bummy.
Well, it's not, it's 740 calories, which is already a lot.
Yeah, but what's a bit of butter going to do? Stop.
Come here. Up. Stop it, Peter, stop it. It's for her. Are they getting burny on the outside?
No.
Okay. We want them to be a little bit squishy in the middle. We just don't want them to be raw.
Yeah, I reckon they're raw though.
Oh.
They should feel hard on the outside, right? Maybe.
I mean, I guess. All right. Up. Oh, sorry. Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't see you. Oh, no. Oh, man. He smells the beef. He couldn't stay away. Come here. Come on. You're okay. You're okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're walking alright.
Yeah.
Get his foot.
I just trod on his little foot.
Proper boots.
Yeah. I'll just squish them all so that they're okay. Are you okay? Will you live? Can we give him a little bit of beef? To make him feel better for the trauma that he has endured? A little bit of beef? Yeah. That's better, isn't it? You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Oh, man. I have, like, there's times when, like, I'm busy in the kitchen and he's, like, weaving around my legs and I don't notice. And I, like, collect him mid-stride and I just, like, kick him across the room. And he's like, whoa! But he's always fine. That's the life of a cat, I suppose. Pets in the kitchen sounds very dangerous. Oh, yeah, it totally is. But that's our life. That's our life. There's all the pear. And now we're going to make a little vinaigrette. And in the vinaigrette, we're putting 2 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil, a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and 1 teaspoon of red wine vinegar. Yeah.
Why don't you just make it?
Because I can't mix it properly. Don't tell me how to live my life. Yeah, slam that bowl down.
You're crazy.
Am I?
Yeah.
red wine vinegar, 2 teaspoons of olive oil, and then a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Your cat is surprisingly good about not getting underfoot in the kitchen. Oh man. All of our animals get underfoot in the kitchen. Oh my god, just can't. How do I get this lid off? 2 teaspoons of oil. And then a teaspoon Scotty. And then a teaspoon of Dijon.
This is one of those meals that looks like it's already been consumed once. Product, like
It's not pretty.
someone else's post product. Dijon?
Dijon.
Dijon? I'm done with this.
Salt and pepper. Otherwise there would have been globs of mustard and things. Wouldn't it get mixed properly? You need to mix it so that it becomes a proper dressing. And then you add it to the salad. Some people just don't know. And those people are called Peter.
What are we having it in?
Or the red ones. Mm-hmm. Where's the spatula? There it is. Yum. Just waiting for Pete to get his shoulder head on that open cupboard. Yeah, that can go. The one by his head is... Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. We can definitely close that one. I suppose I'll have a little bit of wine with dinner. Is there still wine in that bottle, or did you finish it? Seems like a nice thing to have wine with.
Oh, there's a tiny amount.
That's fine, that's all I need. Just a taste. Just a taste. Oh, well, pour you some for yourself as well. Peter. Pour some for yourself as well. All right. Pear and rocket salad. Sufficiently mixed. You put garlic in it, didn't you? Then I cannot give. And a little bit less for Stephanie.
That is you.
Okay, thank you. Just a Red Bull and wine. I finished the Red Bull. It's now time to wind down. We We G'd up, and now we're winding down. Smells awesome. Cookies!
Cookies! Get them out!
Didn't set a timer for that bit. Jesus. Yeah, I think they've got to be fine. They've got to be fine now.
Pop the tray there. Oh yeah, pop that there.
Hot.
Let me each of us.
What was that?
A meatball for each of us as well.
No. Well, they're definitely not overdone.
Yeah.
They look the same as before. Did you actually give me a meatball?
Yeah, it's right there.
I don't want a meatball. There's enough meat in there. I'll taste a little bit for the camera.
That'll cook.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a little bit still soft in some of the big
But that's
parts,
okay.
but
That's okay.
that's what
Sometimes, you know, you just have to go rogue. You just have to just see what happens. Okay, so this was the final thing for the cooking stream. It's been a good. We've had a good run, I think. This was the rich braised beef with mash and a pear and rocket salad. They've put theirs in a plate. I've put ours in a bowl, which I think is fine also. This is the kind of thing that you would like. It'd be like a nice slow cooked meal, but I think the point of Marley Spoon is to make it efficient and easy for a weeknight situation. Oh, it's so good. Yum. I mean, they're all good. I don't know why I'm surprised. It's just awesome.
I mean, you want to eat my dinner over here.
I'll join you in a moment. Good combo with the pear and rocket. Next time, Pete should also add a little bit of mozzarella cheese, as well as the butter and garlic to your potato mash. Thank me later. I don't know that I'd want cheese in this one in particular, but I do like where your head is at. Very nice. Yay! Ah, well, I hope you enjoyed the cooking stream. Thank you so much to Lenovo Legion, my fantastic partner, for sponsoring the stream. If you'd like to find out more about the Legion 7i, which is my gaming laptop that I used to stream 7i. If you'd like to find out more about the 7i, there's a link in the chat there that I just put. That will give you all the information that you need about the 7i. I think that there's all the specs and everything there as well. If you're interested in the gaming laptop, I use mine a lot. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. Just donated. Oh my gosh, you want more Scardy? You want more Scardy? Wapple. Next time. Oh right, that was the donation tip. Gotcha. Thanks, Wapple. Thank you so much for the donation, and thank you for all your donations, and thank you for your subscriptions and everything as well. This stream was very kind of you all. The charity at the moment is Able Gamers and will be for the next 6 months. So I really appreciate you guys subscribing and donating and everything. I'm going to have my dinner now with Peter. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll let you know when I'm streaming next.